What's up, Arizona? Welcome to a somewhat special edition of 12 Sports Tonight on 12+. I'm Cameron Cox. We're going to catch up with the rest of the crew here in just a moment. We got a fun show in store for you, a lot of fun conversations, and some stories you'll only see right here on 12 Sports. This is 12 Sports Tonight, Arizona's longest-running sports show, streaming on 12+. Thank you for joining us every Wednesday night. Let's get it rolling. Former Cardinals quarterback Brett Hundley now joins us here on Locker Room. Brett, a franchise record.
Man.
17 penalties. I mean, when you look at some of them, what did you see? How does something like that happen?
Man, those are not the records you want to be setting in these type of games. I think when you have that many flags in a game, that's just lack of discipline. Honestly, I think that's what it comes down to. When you have 17, they had 11 flags in the first half, over 100 yards. You can't win games like that. This is the NFL. We're talking, close games weeks ago. Now we're talking about setting records for flags. It's just not. I couldn't even. It has to be discipline.
Yeah, I think we have one right here. I want to get your thoughts on that holding penalty on the long run. I heard AQ Shippey on the radio disagree with it. It's right there at the top of your screen. Your thoughts? And it looked like he had his arm there. I mean, is it just too close to call, or what do you think?
No, I love AQ. Look, man, we got a lineman, so it might be a little biased here, but honestly, when I'm looking at this, they teach you don't wrap that arm around the defender. You can clearly see it. If a ref is being coached to do this, he's throwing that, I think, 9 out of 10 times. And this is why it hurts, because you have a play like this that goes for a touchdown, could have been a spark of life for the Cardinals when they needed it most. And then they get the touchdown, and there is no touchdown.
Yeah, we saw the blocked field goal there. Calais Campbell kind of hitting the center in the head and neck area. He's considered a defenseless player, so that was the reasoning for that. Jacoby Brissett for the Cardinals today, the ultimate stat padding game for him. But at the end of the day, he throws 2 picks, and they were during critical parts of the game. What did you make of his, on the one hand, huge statistical game, but on the other, giving the ball away to the 49ers on 2 occasions?
Yeah, it's crazy because you watch this game and they threw 57 times. I mean, when you think about that, that's, as a quarterback, my arm starts to hurt when I start hearing of that. But this was the first game I really saw him start trying to force too much. These 2 interceptions, this isn't Jacoby like what I've seen over the past weeks. He's been very, very great with just taking what the defense gives him, taking some shots when he needs to, taking the right plays. These 2 interceptions I didn't like. But again, you go to these franchise records we're breaking, he broke another franchise record for 47 completions.
NFL record too. But Brett, you think that's circumstances like where they were at in the game? Like you clearly see it on his face. He's frustrated. This whole team's frustrated. They're supposed to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
They're nowhere near it.
Playoffs gone.
Yeah, it's gone. But I mean, you think that's just frustration, him just trying to do something? They're all human.
No, 100%. And when you get down, I mean, the first play of the game, you get a touchdown. You're, as the offensive coordinator, you might be feeling like you're already behind the sticks. Yeah. So honestly, I feel like this is why we threw the ball 57 times. But it's just, circumstances with the game. We're down. We have to throw, try to make some points, and things just didn't turn our way.
Finally, obviously, Marvin Harrison Jr. not in today, out appendicitis surgery last week, but Michael Wilson stepping in.
Man.
And I think showed everybody he can be that player in this league.
Yes, it's crazy to me because he had 185 receiving, 15 receptions. And again, I love Marvin Harrison to death. I think he's going to be a great receiver for us. But he's played 26 games, has had over not over two games of 100 yards receiving. Michael gets in here and has almost 200 yards with 15 completions. That's what I like to see. That's what I want to see.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that set a record this year for most receiving yards by any player in the NFL. So, I mean, this wasn't just good Cardinals receiving performance. It was good league-wide.
But real quick, get you out of here on this. About 30 seconds left. The state of the franchise, where is it?
Man, it's hard for me to come in here every single week.
I appreciate you coming.
I know it is, man. When you're coming in each and every week and you get these letdowns, we have the talent. There's a lot of injuries and stuff like that, but we should be competing in these games. And I think as a fan base, the state of the franchise, we're tired. Man, we're tired of the same thing each and every week. They're tired of it, and I think that's what something needs to change.
There we go.
Yeah.
Brett Hundley will be back a little bit later on the show with his streams play of the game. All right, the Cardinals bringing up the bottom still of that division. Back-to-back losses to divisional opponents. We all know that. Look at that. All the other teams in the division got 7 wins.
Loaded division.
Yeah, Rams on top.
For the Cardinals.
On the top spot after beating the Seahawks. Cardinals, by the way, only have 2 games left inside the division on their schedule, both against the Rams. Dougie, you got baking soda, you got club soda, anything like Jacoby Brissett needs some
cleaning products.
Listen, as a man that's changed some bad diapers before with 2 young daughters, granted they're old now, I've seen stuff that no one should talk about, and I saw it again today, to be quite honest.
There we go. All right, so we'll get to the number of penalties here in just a moment. But you want to point out somebody had a bad day for the Cardinals.
Everybody saw this one. We kind of need you to carry it into the end zone right there. Yes, I don't know what it's like to be hit by two 250-pound men running at me, but I'm tired of goal line fumbles and a lack of accountability from the head coach.
Speaking of lack of accountability from the head coach, are the penalty problems a result of these players not being coached up properly? Are they players in Higgins' case who are being asked to do something outside of what they're typically asked to do? Or has it gotten to just the point of the season where everyone's checked out?
I am going to use the words of the great American philosopher by the name of Kenny Dillingham, who says, everything that happens on that field is my responsibility. Jonathan Gannon is not holding the players to a level of accountability that makes this unacceptable. And it's been going on for most games this year. Now, it's never gone on 17 of them, but the penalties have been a problem since the beginning of the season. Jonathan Gannon, if you're the man to lead this team for years to come, be the man to lead this team for the next month and get rid of these yellow hankies.
Doug, you know, Calais Campbell talked about that in the locker room post-game, that, like, the stuff that happened at the beginning of the year is snowballing.
Yes.
And that's what you're seeing now, like all the fumble at the goal line, every little detail that they missed that caused them to lose the game now. It's building now, and it's reaching a breaking point.
And the way you stop that from happening is how you handle it in August, is how you handle it in September. You stop it by benching people. You stop it by cutting people. You stop it by showing this is not the Cardinals' way, and they didn't do that. And it's also accountability across the board. Let's say if you have a player that's not showing up to a meeting and yet supposedly they're the leader. Well, then that's a lack of accountability. It has nothing to do with penalties, but when that stuff happens, you've got other problems. And this team is showing on the field that they've got problems behind the scenes. Do I know what they are? Not totally, but it doesn't matter because I don't need to know. I can see it by watching.
How hot is the seat for JG?
Wow. If I'm the one in charge of the flame, it's not necessarily that hot, but I'm starting to reach for the burner for the first time. But I would change it and ask something else. Not a lot of people in this town talk about this. The St. Louis Cardinals football team has a better record than the Glendale Cardinals version. Why is that? Okay, that's when you look at the owner and you say, wow, are the Broncos doing well? That was a coach you could have paid for and decided, no, you didn't want to spend that much money, and they're doing fine, and this is Jonathan Gannon, and now where are we? So, yes, I think Jonathan Gannon needs to do better. I think Monty Ossenfort should have watched some game tape last year and figured, you know what, my O-line isn't very good, so I should probably do a little bit and work on the offensive line in the next season instead of going all out on defense. There are problems top to bottom. But when I say top, let's start at the top. Wow. Taxpayers paid for that stadium. We got one Super Bowl trip. That was awesome. But why is this franchise worse than the St. Louis Cardinals? And I'm not talking about the years in Tempe. I'm just talking about in Glendale.
Yeah, it's tough. Tough.
Doug Franz, unplugged.
We can't ever do enough for veterans, but we got to keep trying to do more and more.
All right, cool event coming up in the Valley. It's Tony La Russa's 14th annual Leaders and Legends event, November 20th through November 22nd. It brings together everyday leaders in business, politics, the military, and culture, and it mixes them with legends from the sports world, and of course, it all benefits Pets for Vets. The man who puts it on, Tony La Russa, the Hall of Famer, all the above, Mr. Baseball, we should just say. Tony, what does it mean for you to put on this event and to do this so long?
Well, it's a family thing because 30 years ago, my wife and our daughters, we started a nonprofit because we're companion animal fanatics and they were being euthanized. So one of the things we noticed, a companion animal has an amazing effect on people with problems. So we started putting them with veterans, and the testimonials can make you cry. They've been great. So, and the cause is so pure because you have these veterans that come back and they got issues.
Sure.
And you give them that unconditional love, and all of a sudden, their quality of life improves.
Tony, you've done so much in baseball, but how has this event impacted your life, maybe more in a sense?
Well, you think about it, Cam. You know, baseball is a profession. You know, love the game. Been lucky ever since I signed. That's what I do, and I don't know anything else. But what we do for veterans, and we save dogs.
Yeah.
You know, that's life and death. That's not a game.
So it's a 3-day event, Tony, and people out there can get tickets too as well to come and listen to some of these stories. What do you hope people here take away from this event?
That's a great question because there are a lot of good causes. So we always think, let's give something back instead of just say, hey, we got something great, give us money. So the takeaways are from whether it's military, business, sports. They'll tell their stories, why they're legends and leaders. And then we have a party Thursday night and Friday and Saturday night. So you have some fun. You walk away with lessons for your life.
Yep.
For a great cause.
Tony, I couldn't talk to you here without talking some baseball real quick. What do you make of today's game when you watch it?
That's the best question to ask, the toughest one to answer. We got to do better, and I'll tell you why. We've gone through a period where the sensible people may think that swing from your butt 3 times, strikeouts nothing, it's home run or nothing. So the game, I think, needs to get that blend where you really put the ball in play.
I remember watching you manage. I remember watching you here with the D-backs. Do you miss any of that being, on the field at all? Would you do it if somebody called you again?
Well, you're hot today, man. You're asking all the good questions. I mean, I'm pleased after all these years. The day I signed out of high school to the day, I've never done anything but baseball. So you do something you love. I've been very lucky.
Yeah.
But the reason it's such a good question, once you've been downstairs, there's nothing like the action.
Sure.
Now, when you're not good enough to play, if you can coach or manage. So I miss that part of it, but I appreciate being able to hang around.
Yeah. Tony, anything you'd like to say to people out there who are interested to come into your event, what would you like them to know?
Well, what I would say is I'll give them a guarantee. If they come, and we have a phone number where they can call for tickets. Yep. If they come and disappointed, out of my own pocket, I'll refund the money. That's how confident I am because, like I say, they're going to get takeaways from leaders and legends in business and military and sports. And they're going to have a lot of people around them that are listening and learning, and we have fun at night. So it's really something very special. The cause is great. I think we give a great event. And if you're disappointed, I got witnesses. You're my witness. Yes. I'll refund the money.
He's still got his fire. Tony La Russa here in studio. By the way, they're opening up tickets once again to the community for the first time. Anyone interested, call 310-727-5900. Email Aubrey@cmpr.net. Tony, thanks for the time, man.
And we're going to have veterans there as guests.
Yeah, going to be a lot of fun. Appreciate it, Tony.
Thank you.
Jordan Tyson back at practice, going through drills, catching passes, as you can see here. He's been out a month with a hamstring injury. Kenny Dillingham said he'd ramp up his running this week. No word yet on Tyson's status for Saturday's game at Colorado, which is a revenge game against his former team. Kickoff set for 6 p.m.
But all the drama's about the quarterback. Sam Levitt is weighing his future at ASU. Multiple sources tell 12 Sports. No decision has been made yet, but options include returning to ASU or entering the transfer portal. Earlier today on 12Sports, a popular college football recruiting website said Levitt's return to ASU is doubtful. Both Levitt's agent and his brother echoed a decision has not been made. Levitt, of course, has led the Sun Devils for the past 2 seasons. All the success, the activation out there. He's been out since late October after undergoing season-ending foot surgery. Chris Cartman of Sun Devil Source tells us it's not just about Sam Levitt making this decision. ASU has to decide how much of its budget it's willing to just devote to one player.
ASU absolutely has a decision to make about how much that it feels like it should spend on a quarterback of Sam Levitt's caliber, experience level, and all these other factors. Of course, he's coming off a pretty serious injury, had surgery. How successful was he, as evaluated by ASU, relative to what else is possible out there? You can't just wipe away the reality that all of these things are part of the consideration process.
Chris has reported a few weeks ago that he feels like Levitt returning or not is a coin flip at this point for ASU. Tim, where are you at in terms of Levitt's possible departure from the Sun Devils?
I think it's possible, certainly. I mean, this is the world we're living in right now in college football, guys. I mean, there's a couple of things at play here. From a football standpoint, I don't know what's in Sam Levitt's heart. Obviously, he wanted to be at ASU this year and compete for a national championship. Jordan Tyson is leaving after this season. Cam Scadaboo is obviously long gone. So the roster looks different for Sam Levitt next year. And I wonder from a football standpoint if he doesn't look at that and say, do I need to go someplace with better weapons and maybe a better shot to win a national championship, which also could ultimately help my draft stock? But I don't know what's in his heart when it comes to football.
But I also know what matters is what's in his wallet, right? ASU has done a great job trying to pull together as many NIL funds as they possibly can. And they have. But it wasn't a coincidence that just yesterday, Kenny Dillingham pleading with local businesses to help fund the football program in terms of keeping guys like Sam Levitt. Look, everybody wants money. I understand that. I have a feeling Sam Levitt's camp, and believe me, he has a camp. You know, the agent and the brother are the same guy, actually. Yeah. I think they thought that they'd be heading to the NFL after this year. No doubt. Obviously, that's not really a possibility anymore with the injury. So I think they're saying to themselves, well, if we got to play in college one more year, what's the best spot for us financially speaking and football speaking? The two schools rumored to be interested, guys, Miami and Texas Tech, notorious big spenders in the NIL game, right? Cody Campbell there at Texas Tech, he's a billionaire. He'd gladly write a check for $5 million to have Sam Levitt play quarterback. Miami right now, this year, is paying Carson Beck $4 million, okay, for 1 year with $2 million in incentives. So I'm sure Miami and the people that fund their NIL can be saying to Sam Levitt's people right now, as we speak, we're going to give you the Carson Beck deal. He's leaving. The salary slot, if you will, is there. $4 million to play quarterback next year, $2 million in incentives. And Sam Levitt, obviously, you know, it's a business now. He's got to seriously consider that. Chris Cartman is exactly right. ASU has to consider whether or not we want to even match that. Yeah. Because we've got a roster to build and we got a roster to pay, and we can't put our somewhat limited funds compared to some other schools all in the bucket of the quarterback.
Especially when guys like Tyson, the O-line,
yeah, but you got to go get the next Jordan Tyson. Yep. And guess what? They cost a lot of money. Yep. So I mean, it's a business for Sam Levitt. It's a business for Kenny Dillingham and Arizona State.
There we go.
Let's get to the Cardinals now. From bad to worse, back-to-back weeks of historically poor football for Arizona, and back-to-back weeks where the Cardinals got blown out by a divisional opponent. Most penalties they've committed in nearly 100 years, back way before the team was even based in Arizona. Playoffs are long gone. Progress is stalled for head coach Jonathan Gannon in year 3. The rebuild feels like it no longer has a direction. Could Gannon's job be on the line, and does he feel at least like his seat's heating up?
Yeah, not a controllable for me. I didn't hire myself. I'm not going to fire myself. So seriously, no, I know it comes up. That's the business we're in. If you don't want to be in that business, we laugh, we joke, go work somewhere else. I'm going to control the controllables for myself. You know, I come to work and do the best job that I can and try to get our team in position to win a game.
All right, Tim, plain and simple.
I mean,
is his job on the hot seat?
Well, no, but it's heading that way. I mean, they got.
I say no too.
The seat warmer's on.
No, but
you keep stacking these 30-point, 40.
Yeah, another blowout or two in a 3-14 season, and Mike Bidwell's got some tough decisions to make. You know, Jonathan Gannon, it's the division guys. It's just killing them right now. They're nowhere near competing. He's 3-13. He'll probably be 3-15 when it's all said and done. 0-6 in year 1. Might be 0-6 here in year 3. And, you know, Jake, you mentioned the rebuild with no direction. I think it has a direction. It's reverse, right? And
that's not the way a rebuild is supposed to go.
You ask yourself, and everybody can have an opinion, are they any better after week 11 in year 3 than they were after week 11 in year 1?
No.
I mean, at the end of year 1, you know, they were 3-5, and they were a Matt Prater field goal by about that much from being 4-4 in their final 8. Is this team going to go 4-4 in their final 8? So, like, what are we doing here? Mike Bidwell not only has a football problem, he's got a customer problem. This is an exacerbated fan base right now. I've been here almost 2 decades. It's as bad as I've seen.
Yeah, the fatigue
in terms
is
of
real.
the public confidence in the football team from the top down is as bad as I've ever seen it. And a lot of that's, guys, because of expectations. Yeah. Like 2 years ago it was bad too, but nobody cared because Josh Dobbs was quarterbacking, and it was year 1. But you do this in year 3 when we expected to contend for a postseason berth and to win in the playoffs, and it's not happening, not even close. You got a fan base that's fed up. They've had enough.
Yeah, definitely.
Tim,
not had enough of Tim.
No.
Oh, I'll stick around and come back.
There we go.
The high school football playoffs continue later this week, and top seed in the Open Division, Hamilton, returns to action after a bye. The Huskies are led by a pair of underclassmen receivers who are also brothers. The Oliver brothers will soon be among the most highly touted recruits in the state. Their dad hopes he'll get to watch them soon at Arizona State.
So that's cool. I'll step over here to the left. You take the right.
If there were ever a play that were both iconic and ironic, this would be that.
Go route.
Goes up to get it, and it's knocked away by R.J. Oliver, the sophomore.
A PBU for ASU in his one bowl game in 2002.
San Diego area, and how about that?
R.J. Oliver has no choice but to remember this moment.
I'm old. It's one of the only ones I can find.
It's the only visual evidence he has from his time in Tempe. The irony is that while R.J. struggles for visual proof, this is the scene when his sons take the field. Roy and Roman have enough video to last a lifetime. The Oliver brothers are the deadliest duo in the state. Hamilton High School's latest hotshots. Roman only a freshman, Roy a sophomore sensation. If his highlight tape looks like a broken record, it's because he's broken all the records.
He has a 6A single-season touchdown record. He's 2 touchdowns away from tying the all-time state touchdown record. 20 yards away from Deuce Robinson's total yardage record for this 6A single season.
Roy isn't too surprised this is his reality.
Nobody can stop me. That's how I feel, and I feel like when I have the ball in my hand, I can just go make a play.
Rejoicing that he gets to share the spotlight with his younger brother.
It's been amazing seeing him make plays like that. It's been great, especially him being a freshman and stepping up for us.
Roman remembers a childhood of idolizing Roy.
I've just been looking up to him and just trying to play at the level he's at.
These days, they're walking the same path.
I've been just working all off season to try and start and just be able to play with my brother.
Having him on the other side, people can't stop that.
Since opponents can't contain them, they can only resort to contextualize them. The Oliver twist is that for all the praise,
unbelievable,
some still feel they're owed an explanation.
It really picked up when I reclassed, so my 8th grade year, that's when it really picked up.
The Oliver brothers both repeated 8th grade.
It just got me prepared for high school pretty much.
If I didn't reclass, I feel like I'd just be more scared and not think I'm ready to play at this level.
RJ says it's a new phenomenon and his family is hardly the only example.
We're looking at different avenues, what people are doing around the country to really give themselves extra year to be mentally strong and physically strong.
His reasoning goes beyond rewards in the present.
It's not about, we want our boys to play varsity as a freshman. That's not the goal. We look at the long-term picture, right? Playing at the next level, what it takes to, to properly position yourself to play at every phase.
RJ's been prepping his sons well before they put on the pads. The Saturdays spent at Sun Devil Stadium were strategic.
They just made plays in big-time moments, like Jalen Strong's Hail Mary catch. That always stuck with me all the time.
Maybe even subliminal messaging.
It's been really big on us because we've been going there a lot and touring it because our whole family's been there.
Whole family puts it lightly. Their grandfather, a Hall of Fame wrestler in the 1970s, grandmother ran track at the same time. RJ followed in their footsteps. Roy and Roman say they respect the reputation, but don't feel the need to run it back.
He just wants me to go my own path and just go my own way and the best fit for me.
I've been just trying to not have my parents have to pay for college or anything after that.
RJ says he won't be reeling either way, but the next time he pulls up a highlight reel from the Sun Devils, he wouldn't mind seeing his sons.
We want to definitely find the best fit for them, but ASU is always going to have a chance. They're always going to be in the conversation.
That's awesome, Jake.
Yeah,
awesome
I think Kenny Dillingham should do his best.
Throw every golden ticket at him. Hey, go vote for our Friday Night Fever Sweet Play of the Year. The poll is open now, 12news.com, the 12 News app, or scan that QR code you see right there on your screen to vote. We got 11 plays from the regular season. You can vote as many times as you want for your favorite play. Vote now through December 3rd. The winner will be announced on our Friday Night Fever Awards show and get a $5,000 scholarship courtesy of Sweet James Accident Attorneys. All right, we got a few special things coming your way right here on 12 News. Don't forget, every Friday night, it's Friday Night Fever, Arizona's longest-running high school football show. We got scores, highlights, and interviews from every state playoff game. Be a believer, catch the Fever Friday night at 11:35. And then join us next Tuesday for Turkey Tuesday, the country's largest single-day turkey drive right here on 12 News. Help feed families around the holidays. We can't thank you enough, Arizona. Thank you so much for hanging out with us, watching another edition of 12 Sports Tonight on 12 Plus. We will see you Sunday night for 12 Sports Tonight. I'm Cameron Cox. Have a great night.